Alright, here we are in the aquahut. This is my aquaponic unit. We have a chop system. That's a constant height, one pump over in our fish tank. The one pump is here in the sump area. This grow bed here is filled with 3/4 inch gravel. It's the biofilter of the system. That filters the fish waste for us. That gravel gets colonized by two kinds of bacteria. The first kind consumes the ammonia buildup from the fish waste, changes it into a nitrate. The second bacteria changes that nitrate into a nitrite. Nitrite is the most soluble form of nitrogen available for the plants. Helps them grow real well. I also raise red wiggler worms, composting worms. They can swim, so they're fine in this grow bed here that has the water ebbing and flowing in it. This is a bell siphon here. You'll hear it in a minute. As the water comes up in the tray and overflows the top of this, it starts to go down a standpipe that's in the center. Once it starts flowing in that standpipe, it sucks a little bit of air that's in here out, creating a vacuum. That vacuum allows the whole table here to drain itself all the way down until it hits one of these notches. Once it gets to these notches, it grabs a little bit of air into it and that breaks the siphon. So the table fills back up again. So we got a constant ebb and flow of the table. Excuse me, constant ebb and flow of the grow bed. So that allows the worms to swim in there and be alright. And they also consume the leftover waste from the plants. By consuming those dead roots and unusable material from the plants that's left in the grow bed, they turn that into the other nutrients available for the plants. Earthworm castings, anyone gardening is very familiar with it. We call it a black gold. In this system we grow lots of different things. We got mint, lemon balm, basil, oregano, strawberries, green beans, lettuces, chards. Up here you can probably see the root systems pretty well. It's called a floating raft system up here, these two are. I use these mostly for my leafy greens and strawberries. There's nothing to base those roots in, so plants tend to fall over. And here I grow my strawberries, my squash, tomatoes, things that need a little more root, substantial root area to hold on so they don't fall over on me. And the ones that like deeper roots, like tomatoes. Along here, and up this other way, I'll show you in a minute. This is new this year to the system. It's called an NFT, Nutrient Film Technique. Small later water just flows through the bottom there and the roots hang in it. Just some gutters I had laying around, leftover gutters I had laying around, real basic, real simple with some water flowing through them. I'm giving us strawberries all year. I pick strawberries from my granola every morning from it. Oh, what else can I say about the system? Take you over and have a look at the roots. I have a little better view now. You can see those roots hang in the water, floating on the styrofoam raft, filtering the water, pulling the nutrients they need out of it. Some more strawberries in here. Been meaning to harvest this basil for 2-3 weeks now. It's gone to seed a little bit. Time for the fall crop, winter crop. This here is called a swirl filter. It catches the solids out of the system. Those solids, I'll take this off again and show you. That tomato plant's about done. So the water comes in from the fish tank here, comes up that standpipe off the bottom, so it pulls the solids from the bottom. They come out here, And this flows around the outside, pushing those solids to the outside, and they settle to the bottom because they're heavier than the water. This pipe here, I use to drain into a 5-gallon bucket, and I use those solids in my compost tea mixes. I feed the orchard and the gardens out back with that, and these plants in here. Tulsi, if I'm pronouncing it right, Tulsi basil I harvested this morning. Smells just wonderful in here. Grab some fish food and we'll show you the fish too. I've had the tilapia for 2 years now, going into the second year, finishing up the second year. The goldfish are closer to 3 years now. They started the system for me. Been really happy with the results of the system over the years. Grows the leafy greens the best, but now that the system is fully cycled and it's got the nitrogen or the bacteria buildup that we need in here, the bacteria count we need in here, it's really efficient at transferring that ammonia into the nitrogen. I've grown strawberries, squash, tomatoes, peppers. Everything seems to do well in it. This over here is the rocket mass system. We heat the greenhouse with this. Built it last year, works really well. It's 10 times as efficient and 1,000 times cleaner burning than a regular wood stove. Some people say even 100 times more efficient. Uses a much smaller fuel with it, smaller pieces of wood, so your fuel to flame to oxygen ratio is ideal. Burning a real hot fire. I'll make another video giving more details on that later on. Here's the seeds I save and buy. Here's the red wiggler compost. Don't know if you're gonna be able to make it out. Black gold. So I use a 2-bin system. The bottom bin's just finishing off now. I don't know if you can make out the holes, but I've got holes drilled in the bottom and all throughout. Then I'll start feeding them from the top here. So as the bottom system finishes, they crawl through those holes and start feeding the top, and I can harvest that bottom worm castings.